Sage Wanderer here, coming at you from my shotgun shack in the Texas Outback. So this must be a really important message today because my dog has become completely demon possessed. He will not let me do this video, and I've had to pray over my own dog to make him leave me alone and stop barking so I can make this video. And I may still have to stop. I may just keep talking and let him carry on. It's the darndest thing. And, I think the first delivery, I got halfway through this message. It was nice and sweet and soft, but now there's a little bit of an edge to it because this dog's got me irritated. Hey, one of my best videos started with the words, and then I said I was mad, but in another way, with the P word. People don't like it when I use the P word. But, yeah, I got a little ticked this morning trying to make this video. Of course, not every day goes according to plan, and today is one of those days. In the old days, I would have been getting up at 6:45 on a Sunday morning and getting my hair all fixed and done and getting my fancy suit on and my shoes all polished up so I could go down to the church and have church on Sunday morning. But today, I was just planning to get up, have some coffee, maybe make a video and work on the plumbing on my Texas homestead project, right? Because I'm not big on going to church anymore for a lot of reasons. My choice, not saying that's for everyone. It's just where I'm at right now. But, my day didn't go according to plan because at 6:45 my phone rang. And it was my sister. Now, everybody that knows the channel knows my sister used to own this cafe and that she lost a cafe in a divorce. And now she's going through some rough times. But she's gone back to the family business. We're a family of caregivers. My mom was always a caregiver, usually at nursing homes back in those days, and then we started taking people into our homes and stuff to take care of them, and that's what me and my wife was doing in Oregon before the wheels came off, and our marriage broke up and I came back to Texas. So she went to being, hear him? I'm just going to keep talking right over him. So my sister went back to work as a caregiver, and so she called me at 6:45 this morning. She says, look, we've had a minor disaster over here, and I need to be at work. And want to know if you could help us. I'm like, well, what's going on? And she explains how she has to be at work at 2. Now, you got to understand that when you're a caregiver, and you go back to work or you start a new job, they don't immediately just give you 40 hours. They have to know that they can rely on you before they will depend on you. And so if they can't rely on you to be there on time, they can't depend on you to cover the shift. And so you have to prove yourself. And she's kind of in that proving time. It's why she's struggling right now, because she's not getting many hours. And they're starting to up her hours, and she's in this prime opportunity now to start finally making enough money to live. And she says, she called me and she says, Scott was on the toilet this morning and the floor underneath gave way and the toilet tilted over, and when it tilted over it snapped the connection on the feed tube to the toilet, and there's water everywhere and it's below the shut off valve, so I had to turn off the water to the whole house, and I can't get a shower and I have to be at work. And so it means she has to being at work for her means there's an old lady or an old man that's relying on her to be there and take care of them, and if she's not there, then they're not being cared for. And it's an important job. There's a lot of responsibility, and the main responsibility is to be there, right? Be there, showered, shaved, and ready for work, so to speak. And so I was like, yeah, I'll come over there and help you. And she doesn't even have the money. They can't call a plumber. They're broke, right? She lost everything in the divorce, and they're just struggling right now. And so I went over there, and now I'm a PVC guy. I really don't know anything about PEX plumbing, and it's just because I never learned. Everything, people started doing PEX plumbing, and I stuck with the old PVC as long as I could. And I guess this morning was as long as I could, because I was kind of forced to deal with PEX because the toilet, the pipe that broke off was a PEX pipe. So I didn't know how to fix it. I knew that I didn't have the stuff. I'm like, well, first step is Home Depot. I'll go to Home Depot, I'll figure it out. So I went down to the Home Depot today on Sunday morning, and I got a crash course in PEX plumbing. And you're right, it's way easier. PEX plumbing is way easier than any other type of plumbing. However, it's way more expensive. I was shocked at how expensive the couplers and parts are to make that. It's way more expensive than PVC. But anyway, got the parts, went back over there, got down on my knees behind their toilet, and I put their toilet back together and reconnected everything. And even though it's leaning, it's still functioning. They're going to have to tear the floor out. That's not something we're going to get done today. They're going to have to tear the floor out, replace all the subflooring and all of that. But and she needs to get some paychecks ahead before they can afford all the parts and everything. But I paid to fix the deal, and I did, and it's a really good looking job. One thing about PEX, when you do it right with the right connectors and everything, it looks like $1,000,000. But I got to thinking, you know, when I was down on one knee under somebody else's toilet on a Sunday morning, and I thought, you know, because I'm helping her, I'm helping an old person who needs her today, right? She got to go to work today because I got down on my knee and got behind somebody else's toilet and helped her. And it reminded me of Matthew 25, how it seems like right now that we're seeing this in real life, the separation of the sheep and the goats. But, you know, it talks about in Matthew 25 how when we do things, good things for other people, it's like we're doing it for Jesus. And when we refuse to do good things, or we avoid people and don't do good things for them and only take care of ourselves, then it's like we're refusing to do good things for Jesus. You know, so by getting down on my knee behind somebody else's toilet this morning and fixing their toilet for them so that they could make it to work and help that old person, it's really easy to see that chain of events and how really I helped Jesus today. I fixed Jesus's toilet this morning. That's a silly thought, but you know, when you extrapolate the idea out, that's what you end up with. You know, that true gospel is really more about getting down on your knees in a servitude position and helping someone in need, and serving the needs of the community, of the elderly, of the people that need help. Even, you know, hey, I helped my sister, but in so doing so, I helped somebody who she was helping. And it's easy to see that in that example, how it's like when we do something good for someone else, we're doing it for Jesus. And that we're really going to be judged on how willing we are to, you know, to help others, and how much, you know, we're focused on helping ourselves, you know, and doing just for us. That selfishness really is the opposite of Christianity. And Christianity really at its core is about giving. You know, it's about if someone asks you for your coat, give them your shirt too. And, you know, this place is a prime example. You know, I know I'm preaching to the choir. You guys get this. You know, when you gave me this house, it's like giving a house to Jesus. Sage, are you comparing yourself to Jesus? I guess, in a way I am, because Jesus compared us to Jesus in that scripture, right? I mean, it's, if you do it for others, then you're doing it for Jesus. So you guys bought Jesus a house, right? I fixed Jesus' toilet this morning. You see what I'm getting at? That helping other people is the true gospel. And I think it's where we're seeing the separation of people today. There's definitely a separation between good and evil. The line between good and evil is being drawn on a razor's edge like I've never ever seen or heard of before. It's biblical, it's epic, it's supernatural, and it's unheard of. That good people can only stand to be around good people, and bad people can only stand to be around bad people. And the defining line, according to Matthew 25, is our willingness to help other people who are in need. I could have rolled over at 6:45 this morning and went, sis, it is way too early to be calling me. We can just deal with this later because I'm sleeping, right? I could have even the old me might have went, well, that'll all have to wait till I get back from church, because right now I've got to go to church and take care of church business. And to me, that would have been the more righteous thing to do. And when I was on one knee underneath this toilet, I started thinking, I wonder which version of me Jesus is more well pleased with. The guy that got up, put on his fancy clothes and cologne and went down to the church and held an entertainment show for Christians? Or the guy that took the call at 6:45 to get down on his knees behind somebody else's toilet and fix a broken john so someone could take a shower and go to work and help an old person have a better day? I don't know. I think maybe the new me is maybe more favorable to God. The old me would have argued that I was wrong. Many of you will argue that I'm wrong. But having been both people, having been the guy that understands that true Christianity is service, And the guy that thought true Christianity was being a big and pompous and well-known preacher, well-versed in the scripture, and powerful. Less is more. I think everyone has a lesson that they need to learn in this life. I think we all come into this with some blind spot that God tries to deal with us about. And I think mine might have been pride. I might have been sent to this earth to learn humility, because so many things in this life have humbled me from every angle. It's the theme of my life. Be humble in the eyes of the Lord. Don't be too prideful to help other people. Be a sheep, not a goat. All right, we'll talk to you next time. I made it in. It's still Sunday morning by just a minute. It may take me 12 hours to upload the video. I live out in the middle of nowhere. See you next time.